Hello everyone, it's David Patikian with Property Provider, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the 5 reasons why the 2020 recession is nothing like the 2009 housing crisis. Okay, to start it off, number 1, the mortgage standards back then was so much different than it is now. To get approved for a mortgage, it was a lot easier than it is right now. For example, whenever the coronavirus hit, you had to have a 620 FICO score, credit score, in order to get approved to get an FHA loan, first time home buyer loan. When it hit, it actually went higher. You had to have a 640 credit score. And then other than that, what it's called is an underwriter. The underwriter with the bank who loans the money, they started getting more strict on proving that you still had your job, you're still employed, and they just made it so much rougher. As a lot of you may know, I'm in the middle of buying my duplex, my house right now, and it's been such a long process because for the process of getting the mortgage and the loan approved, they just made it a lot more strict. And back then, everyone and their mama could have just got in a loan and got in a house, and so that's one of the main differences. That's number 1. The mortgage standards are different. And then number 2, prices are not soaring out of control and turning into a housing bubble that's ready to burst. Right now, what we're looking at is the standard appreciation of around 3.6% annually, when before it was about 4 times or more than what it is right now. And the prices went up so high, and then around 2012, they just dipped to the lowest that they ever were. And we're not seeing that right now with the appreciation of homes and then creating a bubble and then just going back down again. So it's very standard and consistent right now. Okay, and then the third reason why the 2020 recession is nothing like the 2008 housing crisis. We're not having a surplus of properties hit the market. We're actually having a shortage. How does that affect the market? Let me tell you. Whenever you're having too many homes hit the market, what it does is houses stay on the market for much longer than the standard 6 months. And what that does is cause depreciation. Whenever you have a shortage, you have less homes, they're getting flown off the market. And that actually helps with appreciation because buyers, let me explain this real quick. Whenever there is less inventory and higher demand, the sellers have the advantage and the leverage whenever it comes to negotiating the price. That means that they're getting more for their home. Now, if there's a lot of inventory and not that many buyers, what does that mean? They're going to be getting less for their home, and that means depreciation of the value of their homes. So that's what we're looking at, is not the value of homes going down. They're actually having more leverage of getting more. And then since we're on this topic, we're at the lowest interest rate in over 11 years right now, which is just absolutely crazy. We're having so many buyers hit the market, and there's absolutely a shortage of homes, especially in part of the niche that I focus on, like ranches and things out there. So definitely, a lot of people are wondering, hey, should I be listing my home? Should I be selling right now? Is it a good time? People are losing their jobs, recession. Let me tell you right now, right now, out of the 4 or 5 years I've been doing real estate, this is the best opportunity I've seen to be selling a home. Only because the inventory is low and the demand is high. Interest rates are low, so they have that incentive to buy right now. And you're gonna be one of the few homes that they could choose from. And you're gonna be having the advantage because you're gonna have 3 buyers versus 1. And so you could negotiate and you have the leverage on that hand. And now I'm leading into number 4. Now, it was just more expensive to get a house back then, and let me explain why. In 2008, wages were lower, houses were expensive, and interest rates were about 6%. Now in 2020, houses are still expensive, but wages are up, and interest is about 3.2% right now, maybe a little bit lower. It all depends on credit. But yeah, housing was just more expensive back then. It was just harder to be able to have the finances to do so. So that's number 4. Okay, the 5th and last reason why the 2008 housing crisis is not like the 2020 recession. Now, Nowadays, a lot more owners in the USA are equity rich. What does that mean? They at least have 50% or so paid off in their home because over the years, housing has appreciated. Now, back then in 2008, people were using their homes, and I mean, they still are, but back then, a lot more using their homes as a credit line. And whenever the housing crashed, now they're in over what they the house let me explain that better. The house is worth less than what they owe on it, and now their mortgage was too high and they got screwed over. That's pretty much what happened. So right now, a lot more people, a lot more owners, they own more equity in their home, and so they have the leverage. If they sell or whatever they do, they still get money in their pockets, and that makes the difference. And the prices still haven't dropped, so they're still going to pull out a good amount of money out of their home, if that makes sense.